in every church in Poland, in every private house. And last Sunday we have 12 weddings. It's like wedding factory. It's a really beautiful church. I like this church. Saint Anne. And beautiful. Okay, because the second group, okay. Pardon? Yes, you can make pictures. You can do everything. It's free country. Okay, let's go. Moment, can you know his name? Saint Maximilian Kolbe, Father Kolbe. During the Second World War he was in Auschwitz. As you know, Auschwitz is the biggest concentration camp, but you should remember two names, Auschwitz-Birkenau. Auschwitz is a labor camp, Birkenau death factory for Jewish people. And Father Kolbe, he was in Auschwitz, in labor camp. And in Auschwitz, if something happened, Nazis, they made selection to gas chamber as a punishment. For example, every 10 took places where he was killed by Germans, by Nazis. Remember, we have concentration camps not only for Jewish people, but also for Polish people. I'm Catholic. And my father was in concentration camp. My father was also in Auschwitz, my father Kolbe. And my father was 17 years old boy, and Nazis used him as a free labor. He had number from Auschwitz, later was in Dora in Buchenwald. He survived the concentration camp. Because sometimes ladies ask me, did your father survive? Yes, survived, because I was born after the second camp. Typical ladies question.
Everyday yata ay pagbalik na pagbalik ang uwi ng pamilya. Usually, nakatanda
Hindi na naguhugas.
And later Kościuszko was also very famous in Poland. Because after USA, he was fighting against Prussia. In 1970, the lower part was built in Gothic style. You see, Renaissance chapel, neoclassical bell tower. After the Second World War, we had a big problem with the church. I told you that all churches were open, but communist governments not allowed to build new churches. But after the Second World War, okay, now in front of you see the oldest church in Warsaw, St. John the Baptist. This church was built in 1370 in Gothic style. And it's also a very important church for us, for Polish people. Because it's the oldest church. Basement, many famous Polish people were there. But I think we'll go inside for a moment. But you should remember, during the Warsaw Uprising, this church was leveled to the ground. Only one small chapel survived. Inside Nazi tanks, big fight, big battle. And after the Second World War, this church was reconstructed in the same style. And they finished full reconstruction in 1956. In that this church is only 4 types of the old city is 95. And I think that you remember the Warsaw Market. Yes, we moved. Okay, let's the old market place. The oldest section. Somebody asked me to say market. So, say market. Old market. Later, we have only Gothic, later we have wooden houses, later Gothic like here, Gothic entrance to the restaurant, Gothic.
Dziewczyny, szybciutko chodźcie!
Later, in the middle of the square, we have City Hall and Bell Tower. But later, was bigger and bigger, and the City Hall was too small. And from the beginning of 19th century, all the square. In the middle of 19th century, it was a matter of steps, middle of 19th century. And outside, the whole city was surrounded by this.
I think the best thing to do would have to be one. There were 6 riders there, so they could have went on, and I think it would have been the best decision.
Well, looking at the times of the 45 kilometre mark, I'm just going to write down the Deutsche Telekom. We'll cut that one down because this is where, because Deutsche Telekom have got about 45 seconds deficit to the US per vehicle, we might find Credit Agricole come through as the stats are coming at you hard and fast from Paris. So we will now bring you some special information about, I don't know what's going to be. Mike Smith, what are you up to?
Well, I just waited for it to come on the screen just as you have, David. In fact, we've been keeping our eyes on the race favourites, the overall race favourites. And with respect to Credit Agricole's Stuart O'Grady, who haven't reached the 45 kilometre mark yet, here are the big names who many of us fancy to be up there when we get to the Champs-Élysées. And this is where they are in the team time trial.
the year of dedicated to this cardinal. Last year was the year 2000. We dedicated it to Christ. And here was the inscription. Malta. So this is our meeting point, okay? Just above me you see this cross, that's the cross of Malta. And this is the meeting point for me to pick you up from here. Around 10 minutes or 5 minutes to 12 I'll be hanging around here. So even if you get lost, because you could not follow the priest, make sure, let's say around 10 to 12 you're here, so that I can take you back to the bus, okay? So please stay here for a moment. I'm going to take one of the guys for us. But you cannot use the flashlight. You can take pictures down there in the basilica, but without flashlights, because millions of people flash lights, and every day the icons suffer quite the damage. This was specially copied for you so you can take pictures. So while you bring that, you can also see the reason here. You will find all the standards on this side, flat standards, belonging to various branch organizations of the trade union movement, solidarity, other workers' associations in Poland that were led by the Catholic Church. Obviously, in the past, not everybody could read and write. Literacy was a great problem in the past. And that is why church developed such a tremendous before and after presentation, not only in Eastern Christianity, but also in the East and West. And you see these frescoes here describe various events related to this Holy Icon. So here is the year 1382, the establishment of the monastery. The icon was broken in 1384, according to the present dates, according to the church 1382. There it is agreement. And you see Prince Ladislav Pole is that tiny little man with his big white socks who brought in the icon.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, it's still, look like the previous finish now. Okay, when we come, you see the gate, the yellow, the plain gate. When you come, from a distance, you may take flash photo, okay, with your cameras and so. And then kindly follow me. We walk around the altar to see the Holy Icon from a close. Don't this come all How many people are in the group? Because this major basilica, 16th, 17th century, you can You may take a flash photo if you wish. The main hall, 1990. When the church still broke the ceiling, they reconstructed beautiful baroque. Widzisz, że tam w czapce nasi są wrażliwi. Mężczyzna w czapce. Dzieci, tym jest a spiritual father, patriarch. And this was 1261. And we came from Hungary here, 13. We have beautiful 9-day novena in January, organ plays, prayers, procession, and we kiss relics of St. Paul. Franciszek Gajowniczek, so father, took the place that gentleman offered his life, no relics, he was cremated gas chamber. And it happened that for his beatification, canonization, Franciszek Gajowniczek was present in Rome. The one for whom he took the place survived Second World War. And he's helping for giving birth to a baby. But she was very good for the poor people. She gave crown jewelry for Jagiellonian University. So Cardinal Karol Wojtyła, Archbishop of Krakow, knows how the people respected her throughout the history, became a pope canonized 600 years ago. This way. Give the way for Father. So Saint Queen Hedwig, pray for us and follow me to sacristy now. For fun celebrating masses, as you now the 11 o'clock mass begin, more than one priest. And this is the book where people write down almost every day. They feel God may help them in a miraculous way, like successful operation, family life, traveling, whatever happened in our lives. 2,000 cases here, extraordinary help.
Doon ka.
tutorial niya, uupurin siya din. Pag i-ano daw niya, ipapakita daw
magkwentuhan
sa
kayo.
reunion.
Hi, Idol.
Mag-discuss kayo.
Ano problema?
Si Idol.
Ang suot niya, no?
Si Idol, naka-Rinella Costa naman, naka-larno rin ang pantalon.
Yung mga content namin na wali-walian, hindi namin alam.
Bakit walang, hindi na,
Wali-walian, hindi namin alam, pero conscious na conscious.
Do something.
Masaya ba yun? Masaya.
Number 5. Si Arthur talaga, do something. Meron doon nagkaklas ng aeroplano. Papabulubog na aeroplano, sabi na isang pasahero sa likod. Do something religious. Wait, do something religious. Yung isang mama tumayo na connecta.
Religious nga doon.
Okay yun
Exactly.
Son, are we on our own for lunch?
No.
Oo. Diba? Oo. Like that?
Siyempre, dinidig nila ito. Ayun na. Near the fence. Ayun na. That's right there. Ikaw, nagano ko na?
Big brick thing, brick, 6
This is the real thing. After liberation,
Grabe.
the first room will I won't manage to and also the So in this corridor, the first open cell, starvation cell, the next suffocation called also dark. So please walk straight, then turn around and go. Suffocation called also dark.
Ayun pa. Huwag yung cross. Down by the fingers. Yung isa pa, parang yung pare. Men's washroom. These prisoners.
In fact, many of them had to undress here in this little yard in front of the gas chamber. Then we will enter the next room, much bigger, gas chamber. And as we are inside,
Gonna burn.
No, I have never been invited by Pakistani embassy, ever. If you were invited to do a no, I would never have.
Quarter to 8 tayo mag-ano na.
20 to 8 dapat nandun.
Ha?
20 to 8.
There was a strike today where you are. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
There was another day of strike today in Senegal. It was called the Globus Party, the earlier conference party, and it was basically to mark the day, but it was also directed at the summit to which many people here from excluded from the talk about their future. That's why we saw almost the complete observance of the strike, and many shopkeepers closed down their shopping in observance of the strike today.
Can you categorize what the mood is like there?
I'm sorry, Jane, can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, sure, no problem. What's the sense that you're getting from people on the street? Are they optimistic? Are they pessimistic? Are they apathetic? Are they angry?
I'll tell you, there's dismay and anger here among many people I talk to. Anger and dismay at the fact that they are not included in this summit. Many people I talk to, they say Pakistan and India are talking about their future.
Wala ka nakitang yung parang ano mo? Yung binibili mong kwintas, wala na?
Wala. Sayang. Sayang, ano?
Yeah. Hindi mo kinuha.
Bago. Parang sa bago niya.
We have all these nice things to make work count. I do software of like an angel. They are tricky things for the foreigners. Now you see, I'm all here. Yes, very good. So you know, before we enter this in, I would like just to show to you what to expect on the top. Just to spare you, I'm poking in the shade, but if you wish to have some more sun, it's here also available. And what I would like to show to you first are the things in general. Later on we go into detail. So first of all, I have to say that this whole place, we know for sure, was the residence of the rulers of this land already 1,000 years ago. Because during the excavation work, they... And of course, it's hard for you to tell that the palace is Renaissance when you look at it from outside. they both came from the northern parts of Italy, therefore they introduced this new style of Renaissance into the country in the purest form of Tuscanian one. And
And you won't be broke.
Not at Starbucks. In a year, you get a lot of Now, people involved,
Baroque church ever to be built in this country. And the church has very nice architecture, is very nice. Just the recent game, there is the volume. Ano inantay natin? And they charge you 20 groszy for the use of it, which is next to nothing. So they perhaps of course, if you want really luxury, you can go to a nice coffee house, but it sometimes takes longer there. Now, so there are the souvenirs. In the market square, perhaps I should also the landmark, the church which I wish to take. Now, in terms of our religious time, the first day, because we have so the first break would be until, let me think, 11:40, 20 minutes to 12. And do you think this place is exercise because maybe it's right in this place at 11:40 in order to take those of you ¿Cuántas horas?
3 horas.
3 horas?
3 horas, son 200 kilómetros casi. Aquí me puedo dar más de 80, 90 como mucho. Puede ser carretera del día. Esta carretera no se puede.
Español, Español de Madrid.
¿Se habla español? ¿De Madrid? Madrid. ¿Cómo está? Bien. ¿Usted? Bien, bien cambiando. Bien. Muy bien.
And I just come for talking in the shade. Are we all here? Okay. The number of colleges around. But of course, this one remains the oldest college we have in Krakow. Of the university which was founded here in 1364. So the Krakow University was founded by King Casimir the Great. And at the time when we founded it, there were 3 faculties of the university, that was liberal arts, and of law. And then because we've been to the cathedral and the
We are now in Slovakia, at this castle where Dracula was filmed by Brno Rothenburg. Ajá. Veamos. ako. Ano ba dyan? Of course.
You forgot. We say jó reggelt in Hungarian. Jó reggelt. You remember you are a cat. You just have to remember the English sentence, you are a cat.
One day we are at Budapest Hero Square. This won an award. Whole Europe. Across is the Art Museum. Mommy.
Hi, Idol. I'm wearing my Lacoste.
Talaga. Do something. Salita ka.
Wearing Ralph Lauren from head to foot, my idol.
Si Saldi Shornack, tsaka si Fernando Po Jr.
Poco mirando hacia aquí con la cúpula negra, es la Basílica de San Esteban, la iglesia más grande de Budapest. Los árboles. Quien tiene muy buen ojo, que está un poco todavía nublado, al lado de este árbol, así grande, a mano izquierda un poco, muy hacia el fondo mirando, hay muchos árboles con unas pequeñas cúpulas verdes. Este es el parque municipal donde vamos a ir después, donde se encuentra la Plaza de los Héroes también. Y a mano izquierda, es decir, en el lado Buda, se enfrenta primero con la cúpula verde del Palacio Real, que no está incluido en nuestra visita, lo tendrán que mirar ustedes por sí mismos. En el palacio no tenemos ninguna habitación para mostrar que en aquel día cómo han vivido los reyes, pero tenemos 3 museos. Donde se encuentra la cúpula es la Galería Nacional, donde tenemos las pinturas.
Es que mira, ahí todo el mundo hacía coca. Yo te he puesto un like para ver si podía salirlo de la cúpula, que no lo sé. ¿Por dónde hemos estado antes?
Different, no?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I explained to you what you can see around here, and afterwards you have free time. Are you going to find your way back to the bus? All the way straight. You just follow this sidewalk all the way straight. Smiling room, the public you see, that's the fisherman's wall. The one, then you turn to your right, and that's the public smiling room, okay? And what can you see around here? In front of you, that's the Holy Trinity column. There was a Black Death epidemic, the plague. A lot of people died, very few survived. Those who survived the plague, they put up this statue to say thank you to God that they are alive. And there was a legend saying that if you bury somebody upside down under the statue, they buried upside down under the statue. In front of you, I'm sorry. That's the Matthias Church. Behind the Matthias Church, we always had a monastery standing which was bombed. And then the communists decided to build something unique. They kept the ruins of the monastery and they built a hotel on the top. So if you walk around...
Mine.
Oh.
Mine. You want it there, man? Sure. This is the tick again, right? Yes, this is the BB. Oh. This is a beauty, man. Alright. Under 200 now. I'll just bring it to Walmart. Okay?
I started with a disc, the largest little thing of like 330 film.
All gone.
No, I got 191 left. I'm going to have to take a nap. Only.
You wish.
190.
He's now taking, wala bang more audio yan?
Meron.
Yeah. He's now taking a picture of the fisherman's wall overlooking the city of Pest. Oh. The Danube. It's not low.
Paano yung Danube Waltz?
Di ba yung pinuntahan natin sa Haji Sophia, ganito din may river din tapos kumain tayo.
More views of the Danube from Pest part, taking the picture now this is the Buddha part, and I'm taking the picture of the Pest portion of Budapest. This is more industrial, and Buddha is for the old rich money. Saint Stefan.
Sí, ya sabía sentar y quiere llevar el asunto por aquí.
That time, you know, a lot of things were state-owned, and now in 1990, when the whole nightmare was over, then this was born. Beautiful little girl, she was called Margaret, from one single bus line. Very few taxis, no cars allowed to drive on the island. They want to keep it absolutely free from pollution, and it's nothing else but a park, a huge park in the heart of the city on the water. So you can come here on foot or on bicycle, you can find tennis courts, swimming pools, open-air theaters, restaurants, these kind of things you can find on the island. And I don't know if we have that much, because that was the headquarters of the Communist Party, and all the decisions that we cannot travel, we cannot talk, we cannot vote, all the decisions were made here. So the Hungarians were not in love with that building. When the nightmare was over, then
That building was given to the members of the parliament. So when the parliamentary session is over, all the MPs, they walk here, and that's where they work in the afternoon and evening. He died 1 month before they finished the parliament building. This is the largest and the most expensive building ever built in Hungary. Just for the inside decoration, they used 42 kilograms, which is roughly 100 pounds of pure 24-karat gold, which means that all the gold decoration is real gold, because they use 100 pounds just for the painting. The main dome is 96 meters high, just to remember of the conquest, the land taking, and it was unfortunately hit by 70% of the Hungarians, 70 as Roman Catholic and 28% Protestant. This reddish church close to us is the most beautiful Protestant church in town. The roof is coming from a very famous china factory. The china factory is called Zsolnai. This is a typical Hungarian style, and even though it's typical, you can't see it that often because it's very expensive. That's why you can't see it everywhere. Behind it, you see the fisherman's wharf. According to a legend, the Hungarians are originally from that bird. When the Hungarians were coming from the east 1200 years ago, there was one young girl. She was very good looking. She went to sleep. That's the legend, what I'm telling you now. She went to sleep. In her dream, she saw that bird. And the next morning when she woke up, she was pregnant. And 9 months later, side of the Marriott Hotel. You might remember this beautiful view. That was a second stop during the city tour. It was on the top of the Gellért Hill. That's going to be the Mandic people, pagan people. And the first Hungarian king invited this man from Venice. He was a bishop from Venice to come and help the first Hungarian king to convert onto a barrow and push down the river Danube. So at 1047, the Hungarians killed that man from Italy, symbolizing that they do not want to take the Roman Catholic religion. In front of the statue of this Italian man, there is a waterfall. That is symbolizing that he fell from that point. And a couple of years ago, for 2 days they could not stop it. You see, that's the waterfall there, in front of the statue of this Italian man. Here we're passing by the, look at it, this one is a Turkish spa. The little dome, the brown building, perfectly built up, that we can still use it in its original style. From here, you see that pink building, that's the Hungarian spa, the entrance. During the communist time, it was closed from public because it's so safe that the leaders of the Communist Party kept it for themselves. If anything happens to the country, they can escape there. Now it's open for public. It's really amazing to see. So that's the Cave Church. And here on the left-hand side, you see the Gellért Hotel and Spa. You see, and on the left-hand side, that's a hotel. If any of you would like to have a nice massage this afternoon, this is a good place to come. And in the old time, when we did not have that many hotels, this was one of the things where you can get the highest level of education, and you don't have to pay a penny. The only thing what you have to do is pass 2 terms for 5 years. So this is the largest university in Hungary, technical university. If you take a look at times, and we have been talking quite a lot about the revolution in 1956, the idea was coming from here. There was some communism. Why don't we ask some word of freedom or something, boys? You can from here go to the fat dome of the Royal Palace and the skinny dome of the Matthias Church. And on your right hand side, you see the 2 boat stations and the flat part of the city which is called Pest. For the rest of the boat tour, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to stay all the time in Budapest, so we're going to pass by the parliament and all those.
special to dito sa garden. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. Yes. Thank you. That's what kaya kami naghihirap dahil sa'yo.
Good this morning. Nice. Hindi lang magpag...
Katuslo. Iihi pa ata. Magyars of Hungary. Breaking. Oh, there they are.
With ideals of being imported, supported by the experience of Hungarian cowboys. These cowboys these traditions are preserved by the cowboys. The number of the horse about
You can tell Argentina. I know she was to Brazil. I'm trying to know. Yeah, sure, but I'm trying
You watch, not listen. The white one doesn't want to go down. The other one doesn't want to.
He doesn't want it. Stubborn horse. Ayun.
Okay, anak ko.
Oh, they gotta have red. You're good.
That's a good
Well, does it make a sound like that? Or there's a sound effect?
Yung ano niya, yung magkakastong niya. Makita mo yung dyan. Parang bago siguro na yun.
Baka meron sa sound mga nagkiklik. So it's good for New Year too.
That sounds
okay.
It's always late. This is 7. Yeah. Stubborn horse. Yeah. Dapat pag sasakay ka, mag-lie down siya. Tapos nakasakay ka. Is that for the horse? For the horse? There's no saddle, that's why. There's no saddle. No saddle.
Ano ginagawa?
Nagbabalance siya ng ano. Hindi matapon. Look at this. I'll give it back to you.
Oh, yes. Yeah, don't wait. No, okay, don't worry about it. Standing on the horse.
Kala mo pa, fireworks yung tunog ng ano. Sarap yun. When you demonstrate the whip.
I don't think so.
Lo porto io poi a Vienna.
They do that down there.
Forse qui perché
driving 4 horses.
That is hard. What if the one horse is separated? If they go this way.
She cut that head when you landed. Someone sitting here when you said, I gotta get that flight.
It's fine. There's a trick for that.
It's got a little white.
Yeah, there's a little pad under his shoe.
I'm the one, I'll glue the two horses together.
No, they didn't want me to.
So now he will demonstrate something.
You'll be in the hole again. You're finding treasure.
I like the white one.
Ganda.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Tama lang, diba?
Doing the moment?
Doing formation now.
you see, on the way to the center of the city, we'll pass by the Prater, the Ferris wheel. Did you see the movie, The Third Man?
Yes.
The Harry Lime theme, which plays in Vienna in the times of the occupation. And he has his office right in Grenzing. Maybe this is the reason why part of it is blue. And green, yeah. Grenzing, you know, the wine village, where you've been there last night. So maybe he was inspired by the wine when he just designed the colors on the facade. And the canal Danube coming through the city with all the different Danube arms. And up to those days we had many floods in Vienna side. And the canal, this is what's left from the original Danube. And right in front, you just have a look to the left in front, the huge building, huge traffic light. You have on the left the statue of Johann Strauss, Now we have to wait, but just have it, the mainly topic, the Italian Renaissance, also the Gothic style, the Baroque style, the golden cabbage. It looks like a cabbage with a golden dome. And we've now come to Kärntnerstraße. Part of it is a pedestrian street. And when you just have a look to the left in front, you see the State Opera building. The State Opera had almost been completely destroyed. Well, it was quite badly damaged. And after the Second World War, ATM and American Express, whatever you need. And on the left in front, you have the very famous Hotel Sacher, which is very famous for its chocolate cake, the Sacher Torte. So while you're in Vienna, you should really taste the Viennese pastries. I will also show you where Daimels is, the most famous pastry shop, but Sacher is here to your right. The crypt of the Capuchins, where most of the Habsburgs are buried, but only their bodies are there, their empty bodies, because the Habsburgs are buried. Their hearts you find in the crypt of the hearts in the Augustinian Church, and the entrails in the catacombs of St. Stephen's Cathedral. So in the crypt of the Capuchins you just find the heartless had been taken over from the Egyptians, the embalmed the bodies, and this was the reason why they had to take everything out. And in each century they added another build. They're also on vacation. They're out in the Vienna woods. So the horses are always not here during the summer months, July and August. And you see right in the middle of the square you have the statue of the Emperor Joseph II. And Joseph II, he was the eldest son of Maria Theresa. And he was the one who raised. The choir is still Gothic. It means it's from the 14th century. And this is the Hofburg Chapel from where you can listen to the Viennese Boys Choir every Sunday morning. Every Sunday morning they sing the service. But don't worry, they are not in Vienna at the moment because they are also on vacation. You see, this is Swiss Court. It's been named after the Swiss Guard. The Habsburgs, they also had the Swiss Guard in Vienna. And right there where you can read Schatzkammer, Empire of the Austrian Empire, the Order of the Golden Fleece. These things you get to see in the treasury. And the stairs lead to the Hofburg Chapel. So when it's open, most of the times it's only open on Sunday mornings. But now they also already started to open it up during the week. Because they in this place is now, you see Viennese people in the upper floors. Viennese people have apartments there. And some people still have rent-controlled apartments. It means they have big surfaces of about 2,000 square feet, and they don't pay more than about $200 American a month. But nowadays, these rent-controlled apartments, as I said, they don't get subsidized by the state anymore. So when such an apartment gets free, it's about 10 times as much. And so with the green label, because
We are at the palace of the Habsburgs.
Us and Franz Joseph, her husband, he lived in the wing on the right. So Franz Joseph and Elizabeth, the Museum of Ethnology, the Museum and the thing left is the museum from the other side. This is the playable wing where you find the office of the Austrian president, and right opposite it you see where you have the red and white and ready the chancellor is the head of the government, and the president is Joseph Stegerson, and our president's name is Mr. Jesse. And then you just have a look, this is not a church. And in the country, you will have seen now the battle when the Austrians fought against Napoleon, 89. You're going to have dinner in Belgrade, and this one is the battle of Afghan. And now,
I've got my gasoline.
And we'll continue with the bus. And I will explain everything else to you in the back on the bus, what's out there. Okay.
And
She trained in the 18th century, and she was a mother of Marie Antoinette. She had 16 children, 11 daughters, and 5 sons. And her husband, Franz Diels of Lorraine, he had even more. It is said that he had 18 children with his mistresses and 16 with his wife. So altogether about 34. Just have a look to the left in front. This is a folk theater. We have the folk theater, we have the folk opera here in Vienna. And I just wanted to tell you, because before when we were on the rink it was so loud, and the question was whether there are still Habsburgs there. Just have a look to the left, the beautiful building with the column stored in the building right on top. Just have a look to the left. Goddess of Wisdom was a woman, and she's always in front of the parliament, but she's never been in. Just have a look to the right. This is in the summer one of the most beautiful parks of Vienna. This is a beautiful rose garden. And on the right in front you have the National Theatre, which is one of the most famous German-speaking stages in Europe. The National Theatre is to your right, and to your left you have the City Hall. Hofburg, you remember it? And then you just have a look to the right in front. This is one of the most famous Viennese coffee houses. This is the Café Restaurant Landmann. And it always used to be Sigmund Freud's coffee house. Sigmund Freud, almost all his life, he lived in Vienna. And on the left in front, you have the Viennese University, and opposite part of the city wall, and this house right on the corner of the Emperor Franz Joseph, who had the votive church built. And Maximilian, he's been for 4 years the Emperor of Mexico, and he was shot in Mexico. The Viennese police, the headquarters of the Viennese, to the right here, and this is the headquarters of OPEC. On the left, 12:15, and at 12:15
Come on.
was not stoned by the Turks, but when the altar was made, Vienna was besieged by the Turks. And in those days the Turks wanted to destroy Christianity. And this was the reason why the painter just painted it right behind St. Stephen's. You see behind St. Stephen's the Turks. And behind the high altar you find these beautiful stained glass windows. And originally you found them all over the church, but most of them were destroyed during the century. These were kept in the catacombs during the Second World War. But you know the difference between a Gothic and a Renaissance stained glass window. In the Gothic period, they put the small parts together, like of December 1791, Mozart had died. And so on the 200 years later, they had a performance of the Requiem of Mozart in the cathedral with the Philharmonics of Vienna. And this was also the day when they played the organ for the 9th year in the 15th century of Isabella of Aragon. So he already started with the marriage business of the Habsburgs. And this tomb is entirely made of red marble. And the red marble came from Salzburg. And they started to build it when he was still alive. And 2 generations of artists worked on it. So they started to build it in Most of the people come out from the morning tour. This is the best time of the day because they either come in the morning or late.
Yung canteen, hindi totoo na yun.
Crystal yun. 4,000 shillings. Just go how much is over there? Magkano ba yan?
Perfect. You guys take your picture? Okay, I'll give one.
Ayun, magkape na lang tayo. Pagkatapos ng isang lilang rooms, pare-pareho yan eh.
Isang room lang.
Oo.
So here, we have a view of the church. This is the most beautiful Gothic construction of our country, and it's called the St. Vitus Cathedral. We'll go in and we will speak inside why they had to interrupt the work so many times. I don't know how many programs, but it should be reciprocated on the law. Both parts, there are not so many places you can enter with the bus. Place you can't. It's a walking. It's not difficult walking because people make only this one area and next to the bus. It's good that also we can go to the castle. And if I was told by Brother that it's better if we take a bus.
If we walk, maybe it's more pleasant, but like we stop and explain, it's like, sorry for that, if you feel tired, you can leave a tour, I don't want to push you to anything. We have been traveling long time. Everyday tour and program, it's not easy.
And now I would like to say that this place we entered, this is a garden on the bastion. There was a bastion for soldiers here before, and that's why the name. But the garden is new. It was designed by Joseph Plečnik after the World War I. 1926, they built the stairs to the circle, and they designed a garden. And during the communism, all gardens around the Prague castle were closed for public. Nobody was allowed to walk there. But then all other gardens, and I should be fair, it was closed for public because of that the government had no money to make restorations. You know, I should say that during the communistic time, not everybody in between of communists was complete.
So do you think this is
It's not a lot. It's in private. It's a fair purpose. We are standing now on the Prague Castle Square in front of the main entrance to the castle and in front of the newest part of the Prague Castle. This part of the castle was built during the time of Maria Theresa, And it's the first courtyard where they built rooms for Francis Stephen Lockett. He was the husband of Maria Theresa, and he occupied this wing of the first courtyard. There is a cage in the part of the palace you would like to see. It's only one of its coronation, the beautiful furniture and chandeliers and carpet, but it's just for representative purposes of our president. And it's open for public 4 times a year. But it's only part of the village, which is part of the palace. These main entrance fighting dunes is the work of Ignaz Platter. He was very famous sculptor and architect, and it was erected here in the second half of the 18th century during the time of Maria Theresa. You know, at this time, our country went through the counter-reformation process. Majority of Czechs in the 16th century was Protestant because of the Hussite movement. And then there was the uprising in Prague against Habsburgs. The uprising was defeated, and Czechs had no choice, or to change or to leave the country. Or to be Catholic, or to leave the country. But you can try to leave the country with your pelisses and lands on your back. And that's why 5% of Protestants left, and others rather changed in 100 years from Protestants to Catholics. So this is a symbol of the time. Take your picture.
Russian style. This is the Ruskies coming. This is the Ruskies.
Of the agreement in Pittsburgh, and his name was Tomáš Masaryk, but he married American lady Charlotta Garrick, and he took her name in between of his 2 names. But his name is Tomáš Garrick Masaryk, and he was not only very good president and great diplomat, he was also a very good teacher and philosopher. And even in nowadays at the Charles University, students of the philosophical faculty, Czech Republic has the same flag like Czechoslovakia had before. We are very proud of history of Czechoslovakia. Not so many people celebrated the split. But it was done peaceful way. That's the most positive thing. But it's only 121, and it was built like the Eiffel Tower in Paris, Peter's View Tower in Prague.
Somebody
And it was founded during the reign of Charles IV. It was in the time when Prague was the capital of the whole Roman Empire. This painter, this designer, and he is very well known through Art Deco. So it's the most valuable window from the artistic point of view, erected here in 1913. And now, what is also important to notice, if you have a look to the Gothic part, and you will see stained Gothic is typical plain, like this. And if it's colored, it's painted. Stained glass came later inside. It was replaced after the World War I because of beautiful part of the St. Vitus Cathedral. We go to see the most valuable part of the St. Vitus Cathedral, which is called the Chapel of St. Chapel. Why it's so important? Before the St. Vitus Cathedral was standing here, there was a little rotunda of St. Vitus standing here in the first half of the 10th century. Then the rotunda was rebuilt to a basilica, and finally the basilica to a cathedral. And on the place of the previous rotunda, they built the Chapel of St. Wenceslas. Why it's so valuable? It's a beautiful Gothic work. It's a work of Peter Pavlov and his workshop. And you can see semi-precious stones on the walls. Also beautiful collection of Gothic paintings. It's not very common to see so many Gothic pictures on one place. And here you can see it. In the center there is a mixture of styles of the architecture around us. And I would like to say this church is a normal functional church. Every morning at 7 o'clock there is a mass here, and every Sunday morning there are 3 masses here. At 8 is little mass, 9:15 the main mass starts, and at 11 the first little mass, and after the afternoon time when it's open for tourists at 5 o'clock. Like this is normal Catholic church, normal functional church. Of course, at the occasion of Christmas, Easter, there are more masses here in the St. Vitus Cathedral. But also it serves for concerts. It has an excellent acoustic. There are so many times, so many singers, and you stand here and you start to sing, and you have the feeling that everybody has a microphone. It's a beautiful sound, So it has very good acoustic, and this side collection in 1921, and then he did a pavement around in 1926. St. George fighting with a dragon in the center is the first cast statue in this area. The first cast statue, and it's a Gothic. It doesn't seem, but it's 14th century. It was cast in the 14th century. In the 14th century, St. George, he was the patron saint of rulers. He is the patron saint of our country. He was the patron saint of England. But in the 14th century, if there was any war, who was the first one who was sitting on the horse and running to the war? Rulers. Even in the 15th century, the emperor was sitting inside of the palace and watching how the battle is going, But in that time, he was the first one probably who died. Like Nero, St. George, here and there were rooms of Maria behind. Today, representative rooms of our president. How doesn't live here, but if there is any meeting with the press. Now we mentioned the metronome, so look at it. Solid space. By the solid about Prague and the to realize the solid is responsible for the death of many people. And if you are curious about a little building in the park, it's a coffee bar. It's a cafe. Under of them excommunicated. Now I go to walk.
Thank you.
Sorry. By now, ladies and gentlemen, we are standing in the old town of Prague. We crossed the bridge, Czech's bridge, we entered to the old town, and what more, this part of the old town was occupied by Jewish from the 11th century till the time of the World War II, even in nowadays. But Jewish came to this part of Prague in the 11th century, and they decided to settle here. they could choose another place. But they wanted to be here because of that only the old town was existing at that time, and it had high fortification around. It means they were protected by the fortification, and they wanted to have a settlement behind the fortification. They were free, but it was changed 200 years later. From the end of the 13th century till the end of the 18th, Jewish in Prague had to occupy only this place. It was separated from the other part of the city with a high fortification, and they couldn't go to another place, even to go to enter to the old. So you have enough time, and now really 1 hour minimally for food and for everything. You can watch, but you will eat. So it's possible to go upstairs for photographs. Of course, there are stairs in the part of the boat where washroom is. So I like the way to the washroom, but even further there are stairs running to the top deck, and you can, of course, have a good view from the top deck. But to sit, it's today pleasant here.
He was this real chatty in Prague says to you, oh, you speak like Polacky. It means you speak too much. Yeah? It was my grandmother was saying to me, oh Lenka, you speak like Polacky. She didn't like it. So the bridge we passed, it's called after the same person, Polacky Bridge, and also the bridge we passed was built before the World War II. There are 18 bridges in Prague, 12 in the real center, and mostly were built before the World War II. It's mostly modern concept. Third row, follow the row of block of flats, and on the end you will see quite modern construction. Now it's in front of us. Can you see on the corner of the row, the modern building, some upside down, the bowl on the top? It's a house of ginger and Fred. It's a design of Frank Gehry, American designer. We call it a dancing house, but Americans, they call it a house of ginger and Fred. The pink one. On the corner is concrete block. This is Fred Astaire. Ginger is charm. It's the house of our president. It was designed by his grandfather. It's Art Nouveau construction, and under the roof there is a big terrace and a window which looks like an oval under the globe. It was the apartment of Havel, and he didn't want to move away. That apartment in the castle, the villa, you know, and he was living in a villa. And 5 years ago they finished with Ginger and Fred, and people could move back. Havel decided to stay in the castle area first. Villa is more private, more comfortable, and in between he married with the second wife, and she has 2 dogs. They need a garden now. Yeah? Because the first one died because of cancer. Olga died because of cancer, and Tony married the second one. And now you can see Ginger. Ginger is nicer. You know, it's this glass decoration. Problems with microphone. Like the glass decoration is Ginger. Yeah? So from here it's much better. But about Havel and his 2 wives, the first wife, Olga, she was a little bit old. Olga was only 1. And you say, oh, Dasha. But Olga. So it's difficult for her. Sometimes I'm sorry for her, but sometimes she says things she shouldn't say on the places she should be quiet. And of course people complain about that. So now we are entering the lot. Maybe you know.
We're having a good time.
To see the second castle in Prague and Havel House. And these parts of the city we had to go 6 feet upper, and now we see Charles Bridge, the National Theatre, Kampa Island, and the Devil Stream. We must go 6 feet lower. So we must go through the lot, and behind me is the entrance to the oldest lock in Prague. The oldest lock in Prague was just 1 year after the big flood. 1891, and there is no system of pumps working. This is a system of canals and 2 different levels of the clothes, and it works by itself. I'm not a technical type, tell me how it's happened. It's not a good question for me, but it should be working. Yeah, I was explained also it's a conical lock, but I have no idea what it means. But it's a special conical lock in Prague, and the oldest one founded 1891. So now we do what you like. But first you must use your brain finally, because you must know what to do. You can do what you like, but you must know what to do. And 2, you must be responsible for that. And also you have no guarantees you will be successful. Maybe yes, maybe not. Who knows? And there are things people miss.
Ireland, it's called the Devil's Stream. There is a legend about it. The architect to build the bridge in time, he had to ask the devil for the help. And he met him at this stream, the devil was around the side of the stream. And the devil promised to help us find the water. For this help, he wanted to own the soul of the person who will cross the Charles Bridge by the first time in the morning of the first day which is open for public. The architect promised that she was pregnant. She was really close to give the birth to the first child, first son. because we had free time. And that's why she was writing to the she said, listen, if you like to be, present, you should be coming. It's really cold. But then the soul of the child belongs to the devil, and hell is the emotional dark host, sneezing child about his culture. After seeing his culture must make perfect fun, like coming on the turn of the mountain day, which should be misty, and then you may see sneezing talk about the cold Britain. And if you like to see the church, you must come to the inside prayer, to the Teen Church, and the husband and the church is at all the man. And if you like to see the dog with the fire behind the sail, fast and demonstrate the left side of the boat, the flower cross, the right side of the boat, and the tall bridge was built on the place of two bridges. There were two more bridges before there, and those were destroyed by water. One bridge in the front stage was under construction, and the second one was stone bridge, in which now has also been flood. The home started to build was not built and founded anywhere. It was a circuit in the town, and numbers of the base these pyramids going down and up. And this side the troll bridge was founded.
The Arabs are really mad at
and this side the
picture. We are at the Bambino Church, the Bambino Church at Prague, where Infant Jesus.
¿Será parte de este? ¿Del intermedio?
The Gesù Bambino Museum. I'm the only one here. The rest are in the souvenir shops. strange idea that they have to come all the way from the States to learn how to come.
Yes.
Let's say if this is what they want to do. Okay. The city tower, which is temporarily closed, you see that green scaffolding around it of foil, because basically in the past I asked the people to pay $5.50 about the democracy of the still take place here, but there's two lower monopriviles. So all these conditorei, restaurants, cafeterias, serve absolutely everything. Proof that is also behind me for those of you who just wish to have a piece of fruit. Now, those of you who would feel free to spread around, to go on the city wall, enjoy a stable, go to Brother Stable.
I'm hungry, Arthur.
Be on the store, have fun. And if you happen to have any big kids. See you.
No video, please.
Hindi naman ano yan eh.
Ha?
Hindi na part yan ng Rotterdam. Rotterdam.
Now we return to Mamaki. Oh, yellow.
Not yet, no, the
Got extra suitcase? No. They were charged
And fart. I'll fart.
probably won't die. Are we so different, you and I? You take life when you have to, as I do.
I have only one more life to take. Then it is done. Take it now.
They tell me your son squealed like a girl when they nailed him to the cross. And your wife moaned like a whore when they ravaged her. Again and again and again.
The time for honoring yourself will soon be at an end. Highness.
Tell the men their general lives. Find me. Move along! Find me.
Can they hear you?
Who?
Your family in the afterlife.
Oh, yes.
What do you say to them?
To my boy. I tell him I will see him again soon. To keep his heels down when he's riding his horse. To my wife. That is not your business.